Welcome to this module on stakeholder coordination in district energy systems. This is the second module of the training District Energy Development developed by UNEP and the Copenhagen Center on Energy Efficiency. The objective of this training is to offer insights on key aspects in the development of district energy systems. The target groups are national and local authorities, including project managers and sponsors, technical experts, as well as local energy utilities. The objective of this training is to enable participants to gather an overview of key aspects of DES, learn how to step by step develop DES planning, have an overview from real case studies and best test cases. Learning outcomes. The main objective of this module is to share tools to effectively undertake stakeholder coordination in district energy projects. After completing this module, you will be able to describe, understand, and discuss the role of stakeholder coordination in district energy development. Recognize and be able to apply key steps for stakeholder coordination in district energy projects. Become aware of best practices in stakeholder coordination in district energy projects at national and local level. Identify key measures to ensure strong stakeholder coordination in district energy projects. Key steps in district energy planning. As described in UNEP's flagship publication, District Energy in Cities Unlocking the Potential of Energy Efficiency and Renewable Energy, there are 10 key steps to be undertaken in district energy planning. In this module, we will take a close look at the second step in district energy planning, which is to strengthen or develop the institutional multi-stakeholder coordination framework. The need for stakeholder coordination in district energy projects. District energy systems are inherently more complex than business as usual, and higher efficiencies require greater coordination. Not coordinating might lead to problems such as delays, unexpected issues in project delivery, slow consent process, lack of consensus among the stakeholders, and no attempts to plan DES as a utility alongside power, water, etc. For example, shared trenching, reducing size of power grid, etc. Developing DES is multidimensional and concerns all levels, from energy and urban planning to setting up of financial and technical support mechanisms through the provision of infrastructure and services. It also requires the engagement of multiple stakeholders from different institutions that are not necessarily used to working together. Example, local urban planning department, local energy department, etc. There are sector integration opportunities that need to be encouraged, and a group would help bring different city departments out of their silos. Definition of stakeholder coordination. Stakeholder coordination is defined as the process by which an organization involves people who may affect or be affected by actions derived from a project. A stakeholder can be internal or external to an organization. They are affected by the outcomes of a project or initiative and can provide guidance on the progression of the defined scope of work. Stakeholder coordination, what it is and what it is not. Stakeholder coordination needs to be carried out in a proper way to ensure the benefits are realized. Some good indicators of effective stakeholder coordination are: it is a two-way process. Views of participants are considered seriously. It is a collaborative exercise. It is systematic and structured. It is focused on project development, general consensus, and happiness of the stakeholders involved. Which stakeholders when? Based on the barriers faced by the city during project development, different stakeholders can be engaged to find a solution. For example, if there isn't enough data on consumers' heating and cooling demand, utilities can be engaged. Areas with high density and district energy potential can also be recognized in this way. Thus, by correctly identifying and including stakeholders in district energy developments, barriers in the projects like limited available data, disruptive network development, guaranteeing connections, counterproductive efficiency, maximizing renewables, etc., can be easily overcome by engaging with the right stakeholders. Stakeholder coordination in DES entails. Stakeholder coordination requires many tasks that need to be performed, such as selecting a project champion to identify and engage with relevant stakeholders in the early stages of project development, carry out capacity building with these stakeholders, managing expectations of stakeholders by correctly disseminating information about the project timeline. To carry out these activities, funds are needed that should be committed from an early stage. Benefits of effective coordination. An appropriate identification and involvement of stakeholders is crucial to ensure the success of the district energy development, including its financial and technical viability. When properly carried out, it has several benefits such as encouraging investment from private sector, which in turn influences financial viability, aligns expectations and interests of stakeholders, and effective communication among them will avoid delays and misunderstandings, enhances organization's reputation by delivering project in a timely manner, and guarantees technical viability. Stakeholder coordination will also help to reduce possible controversies or information asymmetries. Other benefits of multi-stakeholder coordination framework in district energy systems. Different areas such as strategy development, energy mapping, project planning, and wider energy programs also stand to benefit from effective stakeholder coordination. In strategy development, effective coordination can provide platform for data collection from multiple stakeholders like utilities and housing associations. It involves multiple stakeholders in energy strategy, creating buy-in essential to delivery. Energy mapping. Mapping requires data from multiple sources, including different departments of the local authority and the various utilities and building owners in a city. Coordination of multiple stakeholders ensures data provision is continuous. In project planning and delivery, effective coordination can provide independent advice and provides access to customers, increasing connection and retention. Planning construction alongside other departments can unlock synergies and reduce costs. Example, new road construction or new area development. Wider energy programs. A coordination framework provides a platform to launch energy efficiency or renewable energy programs to industrial, commercial, and residential customers. It also ensures district energy developments aren't adversely affected by other energy programs such as solar hot water heating or heavy retrofitting of houses. Benefits per stakeholder. Key stakeholders in district energy systems are public authorities, investors, utilities, developers, customers, and citizens. Public authorities can be a city department or an independent body formed of public and private players. Their role is to mainly provide framework conditions in terms of regulations and tools. Investors provide funding for the district energy projects and can be either public or private companies. Their objective is to provide financial support to carry out the project. Utilities such as electricity, gas, water, etc., provide help to operate district energy systems in line with strategic objectives. Building developers such as construction and real estate companies help to provide consumer data during the project. Customers are connected to the network and pay heating bills to the utilities. Residents are future customers. All these stakeholders stand to benefit from the implementation of the project. Public authorities and residents can benefit from reduced pollution levels, energy security, and creation of jobs while achieving their climate targets. Investors, utilities, and developers can realize profits from district energy projects, while customers connected to the network can benefit from low energy prices and improved indoor air quality. Framework for implementation. Now that we have seen the multiple benefits of an effective stakeholder coordination, let's have a look at how it can be done. The methodology established by the IEA-DHC in its work on stakeholder engagement uses similar approaches to that of the work of Tipper et al. From the Carbon Trust that establishes a five-step approach towards stakeholder engagement. IEA-DHC in its work by Rao et al. Proposes a six-step approach which can be used in conjunction with the tools developed by the International District Energy Association or the IDEA. This process begins with the selection of a project champion and follows the identification, mapping, prioritization, planning, and engagement of stakeholders. Managing stakeholders is an ongoing process which benefits from a review of objectives as and when the project progresses. It is important to validate assumptions and engage diverse stakeholders in an exercise that explores the collective objectives of the group and the weight they place on them. IDEA's interactive objective setting tool, an Excel-based tool, can be used to determine the collective attitude of the group of stakeholders. This task is very useful to understand where the alignment is strong and where additional work and effort may be needed to bridge gaps. Let us take a closer look at the steps involved in effective stakeholder coordination. Preliminary step: appointing a project champion. This is a key partner who initiates and takes the lead of the process. This is a crucial initial step as district energy development entails a number of activities. Example, hosting meetings, identifying who needs to be in the group, inviting key players into the process, leading the discussion, etc. Necessary resources and funds should be committed from an early stage to effectively carry out stakeholder coordination and engagement and be sustained through appropriate funding streams over the long term. District energy development requires a key partner who will be taking the lead of this process and identifies and involves stakeholders that can play a constructive role in realizing district energy plans and outline synergies and opportunities for cost-effective district energy systems. At a local level, it is usually the municipality who should take this role, alternatively, the local utility. At a national level, it can be a ministry or several ministries or a national institution. For example, in Tunisia, it is the National Agency for Energy Efficiency. Step 1: Identification. In the first step, main stakeholders that will contribute or are directly impacted from the DES project will be identified. Public authorities, utilities, investors, developers, consumers, and residents form the majority of stakeholders in district energy projects. They can be classified into execution, key, primary, and secondary stakeholders. In this stage, their roles, interests, and influence on the project will also be recorded. This is an ongoing process, and the list will be continuously updated as the project progresses and more stakeholders are involved. Step 2: Mapping. After identifying stakeholders, they are mapped so that the nature of their interests, goals, motivations, and expectations from the project can be clearly understood. This will be essential to engage stakeholders more effectively and efficiently. The main benefit of a stakeholder map is to get a visual representation of all the people who can influence your project and how they are connected. Step 3: Prioritization. The stakeholders are then prioritized based on their interest and influence over the project. A simple interest versus power matrix can be generated as shown in the slide. The stakeholders are classified based on their level of interest and power. High priority stakeholders have the most interest and power and are critical to the success of the project. Engaging with them on a regular basis and considering their inputs is recommended. Stakeholders with low interest and high power also need to be engaged and their inputs considered. Stakeholders with low power may not be critical but need to be kept informed and aware of the project development. Step 4. Planning. The next step is to set up effective communication channels and plan the resources allocated to stakeholders based on their priority level. Every kind of stakeholder needs management and communication, ranging from an occasional light touch to detailed, frequent updates and check ins. Once you've identified your stakeholders and analyzed the level of interest and involvement, the next step is to make a strategic plan to both manage and communicate with them. The communication strategy should outline frequency and type of communication, media, contact person, and location of communication events. An example of a stakeholder communication plan template is shown in the figure to document stakeholders, their power interest, key interests and issues, communication vehicle, and frequency. Step 5. Engagement. In this step, stakeholders are made aware about the goal of the project and the purpose of the engagement. A stakeholder engagement plan will need updating as you find out more about both your stakeholders and your project. Some general recommendations when it comes to this step are: ensure all team members capture information in a clear and structured format. The outcomes should help shape the overall project direction and underpin key decisions throughout the project development. Stakeholder engagement oftentimes benefits from early actions. Make sure the stakeholders can see themselves in the process and are willing to be engaged. This is an iterative and ongoing process. Let us now have a look at a few case studies to better understand some of these concepts. Stakeholder coordination in district energy systems at different levels. At the national level, the benefits of district energy need to be clearly communicated to the members of National Steering Committee who will be engaged in capacity building. This is vital as policies and reforms proposed by the National Committee can support the development of district energy over the long term. At the subnational level, local stakeholders are identified and coordinated. This group can push for incorporating district energy strategies from an early stage by investing resources in capacity building. The project timeline and development stages need to be properly communicated to manage expectations and align with national level priorities. The project champion needs to ensure effective communication between these levels of stakeholders and ensure that expectations are aligned. Best practice general approach. As seen from the figure, the stakeholders are usually organized into three groups: the National Steering Committee, the Multi-Stakeholder Group, and the City Level Coordination Group. Project Steering Committee is responsible for the oversight of the project activities and its outputs, including final city selection, review of assessments, national replication, etc. It consists of the relevant ministries, relevant representative of the private sector, development banks, and UNEP if involved. The multi-stakeholder group is usually made up of local coordinator, international and local partners, financial institutions, etc. They are responsible for providing technical support and advice during the deployment of the project. The citywide coordination group mainly consists of local utilities, municipality, developers, etc. They are responsible for carrying out the groundwork for the project and support the stakeholders by providing data needed for the analysis. Case study: Thane, India. Thane was selected as the initiative's first pilot city in India and has been supported on various activities related to district energy development. Part of the effort to keep local stakeholders engaged includes establishing a district energy cell. The district cooling cell, launched in partnership with Thane Municipal Corporation, is engaged with stakeholders at both the national and local level and coordinates and performs district energy development activities in the region. The district cooling cell has the following objectives and functionalities: organizing and leading stakeholder coordination and engagement, incorporating district cooling under city strategies and plans towards climate resilience, providing inputs to the design of new or adapted urban planning policies, coordinating with different stakeholders to ensure integration of multiple municipal service sectors, avoiding unnecessary delays during data collection, design, procurement, permitting, and construction, advocate for policy change at the state and national level to unlock the potential for district cooling in the Indian market, create awareness among local stakeholders on the benefits of district energy. Case study Serbia. This slide shows how the project could be implemented in Serbia and is a draft idea for discussion. The National Project Steering Committee is under establishment and will include representatives of ministries, Initiative Secretariat, and UN Environment Regional or Country Office, and the City of Belgrade as an observer. The roles of the committee include oversight of project implementation, overall guidance and strategic direction to the project, and identifying opportunities for national scale up, including funding opportunities. The multi-stakeholder group, formed in September 2017, has an advisory role and will accompany and provide strategic and knowledge support to the City of Belgrade and the District Heating Utility Company. This coordination group is comprised of representatives of local and national government, faculties, civil society organization, technical and financial service providers, representatives of local utilities, housing corporations, and international finance organizations. The national partners involved in the project are CTCN, Senior 21, University of Belgrade, Optet Italy, Danfoss Denmark, EBRD, Veolia, Carbon Trust, etc., who provide technical assistance needed for various activities such as renewable resource assessment, pre-feasibility analysis, deep analysis, work plan preparation, capacity building, etc. in Belgrade. The expert working group provides technical input and guidance in development of the initiative's outputs, bearing in mind the state-of-the-art solutions in district energy. Their participation is ensured remotely through Skype and emails. The working group helped finalize the work plan and participated in the national consultation, kickoff workshop, and mapping workshops in Belgrade. Key takeaways. The key takeaways from this module are: main stakeholders involved in district energy projects are public authorities, investors, utilities, developers, customers, and residents. Stakeholder coordination is crucial to clearly communicate benefits of district energy systems to all stakeholders and ensure the financial and technical viability of district energy systems. Effective stakeholder coordination leads to reduced project costs, fewer delays, attracts private finance, proper communication and progress, while also providing the stakeholders involved with multiple benefits. 6 main steps are recommended to develop a stakeholder coordination strategy in district energy projects, namely, appointing a project champion, identification, mapping, and prioritization of stakeholders, planning resources and communication channels, and engagement of stakeholders. Stakeholder coordination should take place at national and city level. On a national level, a steering committee can be developed to ensure that district energy is part of the national agenda. On a city scale, a district energy cell can be instrumental in incorporating district energy systems under city strategies from an early stage. Recommendations. Some recommendations for stakeholder coordination are: it should be a genuine multilateral collaborative process where views of all stakeholders involved are listened to and respected. It should be a structured and systematic process with a focus on project progress and development. Stakeholder coordination must be carried out following the steps mentioned in this module, and it is vital to select an effective project champion who can actively engage and coordinate with stakeholders and establish efficient communication channels. When hurdles arise during project development, The right stakeholders must be identified and engaged with to overcome the barriers and ensure progress is not affected. Thank you for completing this module. For more information about the initiative or this training, please visit the following websites. In the upcoming modules, you will learn about energy mapping and data collection to identify long-term opportunities for district energy systems, strategy development incorporating district energy into local energy and low-carbon systems, policy development in district energy systems, and business models for sound sustainable district energy systems.